Look, I'm sorry if I made you angry, Linda. It's not your fault, Verdi. I guess I'm just not used to being chased around the mall in the middle of the night by killer robots. And that's the take they went with, folks. Yes, Linda, go girl, give us nothing. I'm John Renton with the Retro View of Chopping Mall for 1986, written and directed by Jim Wynorski, who's done a lot of schlock over the years, staying busy for sure, but look at his page on IMDb. You will feel like getting in a scalding bath immediately looking at a number of the movies that he's done. But nevertheless, it's also written by Steve Mitchell and stars Barbara Crampton and a few others in the schlock-filled fest of 80s cheese oozing out of every goddamn pore, every orifice, porfice as it were, synth music, killer robots, and so much 80s hair, and some big old areolas on those big old titties, and Barbara Crampton looking the same here as she does now. She was born in 1958. She is 65. I refuse to believe that that woman is not an immortal or drinking the blood of the impotents. I think that's how that goes. But nevertheless, yeah, you get a bunch of mall employees staying after hours to party for some reason. I guess all the clubs in town were closed. And there are some killer robots that are supposed to protect people, but after a lightning strike fries the main computer, they go rogue. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Chopping Mall is iconic as far as achieving a cult status of silliness. It is ridiculous. It is pure 80s cheese. This by no means should work at all, and for the most part, if you focus on the acting, the story, or really anything other than killer robots in a goddamn mall, you're not going to have a good time. The movie is not perfect, the movie's ridiculous, but the movie has the element of fun, which is something that some movies are missing these days. Fun. It's fun. It's ridiculous. It's splatter-filled. Had an $800,000 budget, about $2.3 million in today's money, and was filmed at the same mall that they did Commando. Remember when they went Commando in the mall? Don't do that, folks. If you have a mall around your area, don't go Commando. You'll get in trouble. I don't speak from experience. But yes, Barbara Crampton. You have Kelly Maroney. And you have Russell Todd, which just sounds like such an 80s action star. You do have Carrie Emerson as Linda that said that line about killing. That was a line that somebody got paid to write. Again, I mean, the movie has the element of fun to it. And the simple fact that you have somewhat stupid robots that have lasers. They have other stuff, but mostly they just resort to shooting people with lasers. Again, killer robots in the mall. So, yeah, I'm not going to go blow by blow with this because you have characters being really, really stupid and you have enough of a setup, just enough to tease your taint a little bit before they have the robots go rogue. Now, it would have been kind of nice to maybe have this fleshed out a little bit more, but then again, given the material that some of the actors were saying, it's probably a good thing this movie's on the shorter side, about 76 or so minutes. And the multi-level mall, I do want to say, was always a stupid fucking idea. I mean, yes, you have like 2-story malls, I get, maybe 3-story malls. This had so many goddamn stories, according to the goddamn, like graphics that they had. We get a demonstration of how the mall security will observe the badges of the mall employees. Thank you, and have a nice day. Somehow the robotic acting is not nearly as robotic as it is from the actual humans. So, dripping in 80s atmosphere and everything. Just insane. So fucking insane. I do question why they didn't just go to a club instead of partying at the mall. I mean, yes, one of the people does actually, her dad owns a goddamn store. And then there's another one whose uncle runs the store. He's a nerdy guy, Ferdy, which, Tony Odell. Odell inside. Do. How's that for an old reference? Nick Siegel plays Greg. I do want to again shout Barbara Crampton, who looks fucking incredible in this. I do remember when malls actually used to be fun destinations, because we still have malls around here. We have like one good one. And it's even starting to have issues where they poured a lot of money into it, not realizing that, yeah, malls are kind of dying. Like, really fucking dying. So, yeah, we have... We just have these characters briefly interacting. We get the lovemaking and the insertion and all that. We get boobies. Huge, huge areolas. My goodness. You could have a full course meal on those. Many have. Never mind. Let's just move on from that. So once the robots go rogue, basically a lightning strike fries the main computer, fries the stuff up on the roof. You would have thought you would have put a cover above that. It's fine. And then basically after partying and drinking and having the sex that all the kids have, with their big 80s hair and their, again, aforementioned areolas, and some are on the guys, we have somebody go to a cigarette machine. Remember when you could get cigarettes out of a machine? Remember payphones? And fuck you if you don't. You're too goddamn young to be watching this. No, I kid. So one guy gets killed, hilariously. I did like how there was a guy named Dick Miller that was a janitor. They got electrocuted. I don't know why that made me laugh. They electrocuted Dick. Ow! So, good prosthetics, I do want to say. There was a funny moment where a blondie lost her goddamn head literally by getting fried by the lasers, just getting shot off. Just this fucking headshot. Which, based on those areolas, she's probably used to getting those. Let's move on from the areolas. A lot of areola talk on this whole thing. The G.I. Joe lasers just made me laugh. And they're just rolling around. Like, they just roll around on tracks. It's like if, Short Circuit, Johnny Five, came alive and went rogue. In fact, I actually think this came out a little bit after Short Circuit, if I remember right. I think that came out in 85? I think? Maybe I'm misremembering. There was like Short Circuit, Fly of the Navigator, stuff like this on the horror side. So nevertheless, the mall is locked down till 6 a.m. Maybe they should have partied elsewhere. We wouldn't have had a movie, and we wouldn't have seen the enough about the massive areolas, I say. They could just, I don't know, hunker down and not worry about this stuff. They could be smarter. The boys get guns while the girls escape through the ventilation, but the ventilation is being turned up. They're feeling the heat because the main computer is fried and going evil. Why not? So, lasers are being shot at all these guys, and they get cover. Lasers, you can just kind of roll out of the way. They throw a propane tank at one of them and shoot it. And that fries one of them briefly, but he gets back up. Susie gets picked off in a hilarious way. Barbara Crampton, poor Barbara Crampton. She's down and she can't move. She broke a heel, or bad writing is holding her down, but she can't get away. And then the girls get these gas cans and stuff like, things in to make like Molotov cocktails, but one gets blown up. And Barbara Crampton gets fried, just gets absolutely fried. They could have saved her. They could have gotten to the second floor any amount of time it took that robot to go, but it's fine. It's okay. They just blow up the elevator because I guess their idea was, okay, if we can't have this elevator, no one can. I don't know how one guy did not shatter his ankles doing a goddamn dive. I think that was Greg, I think. I'm actually not sure. Maybe it was Russell Todd. Who is Russell Todd in this? Rick. Okay, that's fine. See, I can't remember a lot of these names because it's not really important because killer robots in the mall. And then they blow up the elevator. Greg died because he got sent down the goddamn escalator. The wrong way, by the way. You never take the escalator the wrong way. Didn't you see that one Final Destination movie? Was it Final Destination 5? I'm genuinely fucking trying to remember. I think it was maybe the fourth one. Nevertheless, I think it was the fourth one. So, let's just blow up everything. People die. It comes down to the nerdy people. Ferdy gets killed. Oh no. And so it's just, it's just the one left. It's just Allison left. And she gets to a paint shop, gets some road flares, and says, hey, have a nice day, and blows one up. Oh, and then Ferdy's alive. And there you go. Ferdy's alive. He could have saved her all this time. Hey, nice shot, because earlier Allison did a shot where she blew up the elevator by blasting the propane tanks on top of the elevator to kill one of the robots, or just because they hate elevators. I hate elevators, so I don't blame them. So yeah, that's Chopping Mall right there. That's Chopping Mall. They just did. Look, it's not perfect by any means. I wouldn't even quantify it really as good, but it is good fun. So that's really all we can say right there. A lot of retro reviews coming up, a lot of horror stuff coming up for Scary September and Spooky Month October. Because what the fuck else am I going to do? Wrestling's kind of burned me out, so let's talk about bad movies. Agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.